Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome back. I cannot believe summer is over. I believe this is probably the fastest summer I've ever had. My kids are so busy and we had a lot of traveling, and so I feel like we were done with school in May and here we are again, and I have no idea where June and July went. No idea. So I'm sure I'm not alone. Um, it makes me sad, but I'm also excited because new semester, new students, new faculty, and just hopefully a good start. So, first things first, in all things, this is myNeosho updates and just start of the semester online campus information. And you guys can see my PowerPoint, correct? Okay, great. So today's topics we're going to go over NC 105, NC 201, semester reminders, concourse, resources and instructional support, training opportunities, and I don't know how I missed updates in there. So in the middle of that, we will also talk about the new updates for myNeosho. First things first, NC 105. Every semester I go over this same exact sheet, but I think it's great to refresh memory or maybe let new people know that what NC 105 is and that it's an opportunity for your students. Uh, First of all, it is an online orientation to myNeosho for your students, so they can learn how to use myNeosho, how to submit assignments, how to take online quizzes, how to email their classmates or their instructors. It's just an online tutorial for them to be able to use our LMS. When is it available? We make it available at the beginning of the semester. Every single semester, every single student is put in, no matter if they've completed the certificate or not. So it's just a resource. So if they need to go back and learn how to submit an upload assignment because they've never had to do that, they can go back to NC 105, watch the video, and learn how to do it. So maybe they have never uploaded an assignment in the 1.5 years that they've been here, so they need to learn how to do it. That's an opportunity for them. Is it required? It is not required by the college for them to complete an NC 105, but it can be required by you guys if you would like to include that in your coursework. I highly recommend it for online classes, especially because your students are using our platform, so they might want to be orientated on it. I usually make it due within the first 3 weeks, so that way they learn how to use it before they're actually in the trenches with the course. I make an assignment that's an upload assignment for them to upload the certificate whenever they're done with the orientation, and then I can grade them in that way. So it is a requirement from my class, but it is not a requirement from the college. Um, it's also good for all modalities. I did put that in there. It's good for even anybody that's just face to face, so they know how to go in and use the roster for sending emails or check their grades, or if you do use it for any kind of assignments stuff in your face to face classes. It's good for all modalities. You do not have to grade NC 105. We have graders hired for that. They get 2 business days to complete the grading. So if a student turns something in at noon on Friday, it could not be graded until Tuesday. It just depends on when they submit their work. So having that communication with your students is a good idea as well. Same thing with certificates. So if you're going to make a certificate due in your class, I would suggest staying away from Friday, Sunday, due dates, because they're going to wait until Friday. We all know they're going to wait until Friday to complete the course and then expect their certificate right away. And it just doesn't work that way. So I actually recommend a midweek due date on those. So that way our graders have an opportunity to get the work graded and we're able to get the certificate created and sent to them so they can submit it to you. So just a little side note there. I've already suggested that you do it within the first 3 weeks, especially if it's an online class. Some people give the whole semester. That's fine. Just know that they're not actually getting from it what we're wanting them to get. And that they may wait until December to complete that, and we don't want that for them. It is open to them until December, so it will say on myNeosho the last day of the class is December, whatever it is. So that might be confusing to them. Make sure you have that communication with them as well, so they know that the due date in your course may be different than what they see in the NC 105 section. Let's see what else on that one. I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions about NC 105 at all? Just knowing, also letting them know that if they complete the certificate one time, they do not need to complete it again. Just to make sure that they keep on a hold of the certificate. Okay, NC 201. We haven't had this on the updates for a while because we haven't been able to offer it. It's coming back. We're going to offer the full two session course. It's a very in-depth online teaching certification that we offer here, and it goes into the philosophy of teaching online and how to teach online with our platform and suggestions and how to build a course out. And it is very, like I said, involved and in depth. So it's 2 8-week sections, and you have to start with session A before you can do session B, or section B, I should say. So we offer, and we don't like to offer it in the fall when we're first starting out, because we don't want to overload, our fall semester. So we are starting in spring of 26 with NC 201A, and that will be from February 16th to April 19th. So it's the middle 8 weeks. And then we will have session B in summer, and then we will start with A in fall, and then we'll move on from there and we'll rotate. So if you complete both sections A and B, you are qualified to get 3 credits professional development, and I believe that's a move over on the pay scale as well. So wanted to make sure you knew about that. Does anybody have any questions about the full NC 201 online teaching certification? You'll be seeing more information about that as we get closer, more like October or November. So if you're interested in signing up, you can email us today if you're really excited about it, or you can wait until we send out the information moving forward. Excited to bring that back, that's for sure. Okay, we have reminders every single semester. Cert day. We have cert day on, for full semester, it's September 15th this semester, and for first 8 weeks, it's August 29th. Just remember, if you're a face-to-face class, you attend, your student has to attend a class session or email or communicate with you to be started into the class. For online, it's a little bit different. They can't just send you an email. They can't just do a introduction post or an introduction assignment. It's got to be a content bearing assignment. Or a content bearing forum post. So it needs to be worth something. It needs to be actual school work to be inserted into the class. For virtual and hybrid courses, it's a little bit different. You can choose how you want to cert your students. So if they come to class, you can cert them in, or you can make sure that, or make them complete an assignment. Otherwise, they will be dropped off your list. Any questions about that? Just remember to get those done so the registration department doesn't have to hound us. Attendance, our new fancy attendance page that we went over last year in the fall and in the spring is an easy way to keep attendance, so that way you are ready to go for cert day. It automatically loads the last date of attendance into that field when you go into cert or when you go into submit grades. It just makes it a lot easier and a little more streamlined, so you're not having to manually type in a date on those pages. It's also required for you to do it through cert day, and then it's recommended to do it throughout the rest of the semester, so that way you have that last date of attendance whenever you go in to submit grades. Okay. All right, grade book. All instructors are required to keep a full electronic grade book, and I am excited to share something new about the grade book here at the end during my updates. And just make sure you're at least updating weekly. You know that we start polling for early academic warning, and the courses that do not have any assignments or any grades are the ones that usually get flagged or are going to get flagged. And if we're doing that 4 weeks into the semester, you should have a grade by then. So I'm not sure how you have your courses set up, but we need to have weekly updates so that way your students know where they sit and where they stand, especially online courses, because not being face to face with you in a classroom, not being able to have that conversation with them, making that grade available to them so they know how they are doing in your course makes it a lot easier for them to prepare for the rest of the semester. So, and also at the end of the semester with submitting grades, everything is all in there and accurate because you've been keeping the electronic grade book in myNeosho. So, like I said, I have something exciting to show you at the end during the updates. Final schedule is posted. I believe it was posted last week. I believe that there was a couple changes already and had to have updates already, but I believe what is out there right now, which this screenshot might even be old, but what is under my resources and then final schedule fall 2025 should be updated and accurate. If you see anything wrong or incorrect, please let us know and we'll get that updated. All right, course eval. Same thing as every semester. The survey will display for the students in the bottom of their list on the homepage where it says how many surveys they have available. When they click on it, it will show them the surveys that they can complete in a list, and they will be getting emails. You will be getting emails asking them to complete these surveys, and this is an easy way to show them where they are. We don't see them as faculty, so it's easier for me to show you this screenshot as a student view. You can show them at the bottom of the part on the left of their homepage. It will show how many surveys they have to complete. Any questions about that? Quiet group today. All right. Course expiration. So I think there's a little confusion with this one sometimes, and I just want you to know, if you're updating your courses every semester and you're teaching a course that you have every semester, you will be fine unless there's something that you like from spring of 2021 or whatever from almost 5 years ago that you didn't update moving forward. Then you might want to grab that piece and put it in your recent courses. This is more for courses that are not taught every semester. So you have something from 5 years ago that you haven't taught for a while, or even 3 years ago you haven't taught for a while and you don't want to forget about it, or you don't want to lose that content. We can make an indefinite course so this won't go away. So if that is something that you need to do, so you have a course that you haven't taught for a while or you've not been updating, something similar to that, you can grab the link from the address bar up at the top. Once you're in your course, grab that link and send it to us, and then we can make an indefinite page for you. And this will keep that course forever, indefinitely. But like I said, if it's a course, if you have the same courses that you're teaching every semester or every other semester, or every other year, you're going to keep updating that coursework and you're not going to have to worry about doing an indefinite. This is more for those situations where you're not using it and updating it as often. Does anybody have any questions about that? If you do have this, like I said, it's easier for you to grab this link instead of telling me CSIS 105 from 2023. Which 2023? So grab this link for me, send us an email to online@neosho.edu, and then we will make an indefinite course for you. Okay. All fall syllabi have been created. unless you have a late add course. So if you added a course within the last 2 weeks, I believe, you know, we had full sections, we added a section, or you had a course that you had added to the schedule for other reasons. If it was added within the last 2 weeks, I have not created that syllabi yet because I am trying to wait as long as possible to get that list together and do it Thursday or Friday. Mainly just because it is a process. Creating the syllabi is not an easy one. So it takes a while, and I'd prefer not to have to do it multiple times throughout this week. So if you are okay with waiting until Thursday or Friday, that would be great. If it's an urgent situation, I could probably do a one-off. Just let me know. Send me an email, and we'll get it updated. I was lucky enough to go ahead and create syllabi this year back in March when the courses were created with the schedule. And I'm going to continue to try and do that process every semester. So in October, when our spring courses are created, I should be able to create syllabi for those courses. So anything that's on the schedule when we get it sent out and started, I should be within that couple of weeks of them being created and the schedule going out, I should be able to get your syllabi updated. So you can go in and work on it as early as you want. And then I try and update like 3 months later and try and just keep, anytime there's new ads or anything like that, I just try and keep a roll or an idea of how many courses I need to go in and update. So I'm trying to make it easier for you guys. I know these last minute course ads makes it a little bit difficult, but new process, trying to make it easier. I hope that is helpful. Any questions about that? Okay. Just the normal updates, just letting you know that it's automatically updated. You don't have to do the LTI connection anymore. It should automatically load. But if you do see this page and you know that your course has been on the schedule this whole time, immediately send us an email to online@neosho.edu and I'll get that figured out and make sure we can get that created for you. When you're ready to edit, if this is the first time that you're putting this syllabus together, you'll use this edit feature. We have a nice guide for you to use, and it's on our website on the instructional support page, and I can show you where that is here in a little bit. But you would go to syllabus and then click on edit, and then it opens up each of the different areas that you can edit content, and you can go in and edit 7 different sections, I believe. You also have the option to copy. So this is the 4th time you've taught this with this syllabus. It's the same course, same syllabus supplements. You can go in and you can go to the course that you're getting ready to teach this semester, click copy, and then copy from your previous course. And then it will just bring in those 7 sections for you, and you don't have to worry about updating anything unless it's time sensitive or course sensitive information. So that's really helpful. You're not having to reinvent the wheel every single semester. I also have a guide for that I'll show you here in a minute too. And then these are the 7 sections you can edit. So we have examples. If you're stuck on, what am I supposed to put for method of evaluation or instructional methods? I don't know what you're asking for. We have examples of that, and you can go and look at each one of those sections, and we've got about 3 or 4 examples from previous instructors' syllabi, and it will just show you examples of what you could put in those sections. So that way, when we do our syllabus check at the beginning of every semester and every session, you will have these sections filled out. We do a syllabus check and we check to make sure you have content in these areas. We are not in charge of that. So if you get flagged for not having content in that area from our offices, it's actually your supervisor that you're going to go to and ask, okay, what am I supposed to put in this area? Because we're not monitoring you. We're not the ones that are getting you in trouble or anything. We're just saying, hey, put stuff in this area, and then you'll be checked off. So use these examples to help you if you're not quite sure what to put in those areas, and just get them filled out, and then you won't be flagged, and then your supervisor won't be yelling at you, and then you won't be yelling at us, and we're all happy. So just get them filled out. If you have questions on how to fill them out or what to put in them, this is your example that you should go to, and I'll show you where that's stored as well. Any questions? Okay. Okay, myNeosho updates. Last year we had a very sad panther because there weren't any updates because we didn't get to do any upgrades in December, or yeah, like at all last year, I believe. And so it was really sad. I was very sad. I know other people were sad. And this year we did have an update in May and June. And so now we have a happy panther. And I have a couple of things to share with you, and hopefully they're positive things and you're excited about it. There might be a little bit of a learning curve on a couple of the things, but it all should work just like you were using it previously, just maybe a better is what I'm hoping for. So these are the 4 things we're going to talk about, and I'm going to go through each of them on the different slides. First things first, resources page. So previously, for the last year, we had an issue where if we made a copy and used the overwrite rollover course copy feature, any of the bookmarks or handouts in the resources area with no end date would copy over an end date for some reason. And so when your course would be open to your students, none of your resources would be available, and you'd have to go in by one and change the end date to open or whatever you would like it to be. They fixed that. So if that was happening to you, hopefully this makes you happy. I know it makes me happy. So no more weird end dates on your resources. But what's also awesome is that there's other features in there that will make changing those dates easier. We will go over those. But first things first, here's a screenshot of what my future resources page will look like. Mine, I changed bookmarks and handouts to say required and additional resources, because you can put handouts and bookmarks in the same sets now. So it doesn't have to be on a bookmarks page or a handouts page. It can be in the same sets on the same page. And you can even combine the 2 pages to one, to where it's not even saying bookmarks, handouts, or required resources, additional resources. It doesn't have to say that. It can just be one page, one scrolling page with your sets on there. So if you have chapter 1 and you've got 5 bookmarks, 5 handouts that you're wanting to put in chapter 1, they can all be in the same set. I think that's phenomenal. Really easy for students because they're not having to go to 2 different areas. And for me, I really like that I can say we've got required resources and additional resources now. And so that's helpful. There's also a download option now. So in your sets, you might have 5 handouts that your student wants to download all of those without having to go to each one, download it, go to the next one, download it. They can just check the box and then use the download files option, and it will put it in a zip file for them in their downloads folder, and then they can use those files. It's one click instead of however many. There's also the option to edit all items on one page. You've got show hide, availability, status, and we've got the file cabinet option. I'm going to go ahead and open Chrome and go here to my resources page. Okay, so this is the same screenshot that we were just looking at, but this is live. This is the download files option. If you select all of your files and then click download files, it sends it to a zip file. But what I'm most excited about is the manage button. So I've selected these 2 or this set by checking this box, or I can do one at a time. Oops. And I go to manage and I have options. So I can do, I want to hide all of chapter 1 because I'm not actually ready for them to see this content yet. So with one click here, I've hidden all of that set. And so they can only see the title of the set. They can't see the contents. Okay. But now I actually want to schedule when that's going to be open so I can go in and say, okay, want all of these to open on this date. Or I can check the box of which one I want to open when, and I can do it just from here instead of having to dive into the actual bookmark or handout. I can just do it right on top of the resources page and quickly, and then it automatically updates it for me right here. So I think that is a huge plus, especially if you are an instructor that has a bunch of resources. I know there's a lot of you out there that have just so many handouts and bookmarks, and this will be an easier way to manage those. We also have the reorder option, so you can just drag and drop, reorder however you want. The same thing for sets. When you want to reorder sets, it's just the drag and drop option. So when you're going through, because it is going to look a little different for you when you log in, you're going to have these buttons for all of your sets and all of your pages, so your bookmarks and your handouts. And if you're wanting to rearrange or make it look better, a little easier on your eyes, and you need me to assist you with that, or you need Sess to assist you with that, we're more than happy to help you clean it up. But it is pretty user friendly. We have the option to, let's see, what else was I going to show you? Oh, the required and suggested options here. So this is my required side. You know, I changed these from bookmarks and handouts to required and additional. And so I need this screen pal video, which is would be a bookmark in our old one. I need to go up here to manage, and I need to change the status from suggested to required. And then I click save. And now it is required. I'm going to go back to the breadcrumbs and click resources, so it takes us back to that other view. But now you can see that it is, both of them are saying required now. The question is, what does required mean? Does it give them points, or are we able to see whether or not they actually looked at it? What does that do for us, the status? It doesn't do anything at this point. This is just a visual for your students. So that way they know, okay, I have to read this PowerPoint in order to complete whatever. And if they click on the plus sign, they'll see the directions for whatever that resource is. Or for example, on the screen pal video, I embedded the actual video so they can just watch that video right here within the resources page without having to go anywhere. So before I go any further on this, does anybody have any questions about that? Okay.
I've been waiting 11 years for that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I knew you were going to be excited. So real quick, one more piece before I move on is right now, as you can tell, I have mine set to collapse. So if I had 12 chapter sets here, then they would just show like this example right here and just be in a list. They wouldn't be expanded like this or expanded fully like this, which is a setting we have control over under this admin settings side, which you guys have access to this tool. You click on that tool, you go to settings, and for whichever portlet you're wanting to do, which would be handouts or bookmarks or whatever, wanting to change it to, you're going to choose that page. You're going to say, I would like it card view or list view. Card view is where you would see everything, and it might take up more space. I recommend list view just because it's a little bit cleaner. And you can choose collapsed or expanded. Again, I prefer collapsed because it's just cleaner for me. So those are under settings. And if you're wanting to learn how to change the names of these, just let me know. It's super easy. I'm also making a scribe on how to do all of the things that I'm showing you here. So you will have access to that step-by-step instruction as well. Okay. I believe that's it. I'm very excited on that one. Oh, I do one more thing. I did forget about the file cabinet save import option. So if you have a set that you like or multiple sets that you like, on a portlet. So like in my required, if I had multiple sets, I could choose however many I wanted, but I want to use it in my other computer concepts class as well. So I could select those and then I could go to manage sets and I could say save selected to file cabinet. And then it will save those to my file cabinet. So I'll have access to those handouts and bookmarks throughout any of my courses. And then when I go to the other course or wherever else I want to put this information, I go to add set and I can import from file cabinet. So it's super easy to go from one course to another or from one portlet to another, however you're wanting to share your information. Okay. And you have it stored in your file cabinet in your quick links as well.
Hey Maggie, I have a question on that. This is Amber Vale. Can you do the same thing with a unit in the coursework, save a whole set, a whole unit?
Yeah.
Because like pre-paperwork that for CNAs, we're putting all of it online now. And so I've been doing it just one assignment at a time, adding to all of my courses.
Mm.
But I can do that as a set also, you're saying?
I would save all of your courses, all of your coursework to your file cabinet, and then you can add all of them at once. You don't have to do one by one. So the saving to the file cabinet, I believe, is still one at a time.
Yeah, I could.
Coursework,
Okay.
but you can add them all together.
Okay. I'll try it again. I tried adding more than one at a time and it wouldn't let me. So,
Okay. Yeah, and if we can pick up the phone too, and I can walk you through that as
right.
well.
Okay. I
Yeah.
just wondered if it could be done as a set like you were just talking about. So, all
Similar,
right.
but a little bit different. It's more
All
like
right.
unit by unit, but yeah,
All right. Thank you.
you're welcome. Anybody else? Okay. All right, coursework and gradebook navigation. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this or not, but on the coursework page, you have directions or suggestions or guidance. That Gensbar was like, hey, we're just throwing this at people and we're not really telling them what to do with it. So they've kind of started adding stuff like this on their different pages. So take a look at that whenever you go to your coursework page next. There's, oops, I didn't need to go away from that. There's also this getting started thing or section that just tells you know where you should start if you've never created a course. I'm just letting you know that they are trying to give you more tips and tricks throughout um, your different pages of your course. New thing also is that from each assignment, when you click on the name of the assignment within your coursework, you will go to this page. And this is where you see your students and obviously their grades. And this is where you can put in grades. But you can also click on view full gradebook to go directly to the gradebook. And then you will also see a link in that gradebook that could take you straight back to that assignment and the page that you put grades in. So you can go back and forth. You can go to the full grade book and then you can go back from the full grade book to this assignment specifically. So it's kind of nice to go be able to go back and forth like that. And then we also have a new feature for importing grades. I have two new ways of inputting grades. This first one is by assignment only. So import grades with an Excel spreadsheet, one assignment at a time. So first things first, you go to the assignment page that we were just on by clicking on the name of the assignment. It takes you to the page where you can see their grades and their names, and you click on edit all grades. When you click on that, it takes you to this, it gives you this new option. We always had this how to format grades section up here, and now you have this new section where you can click on the word here and it opens up the CSV file, which is an Excel file, with any information you need for this assignment. So when you click on that, it opens the assignment in Excel. It gives you the name of the assignment as the title of the file or the name of the file. And it's very basic. Student, grade. So you'll have the student name and you'll have the column for the grade. You edit the grade only, so whatever grades you want to put in there for your students, and then you save the file. Don't change the name of the file, keep everything the same. The only thing we're changing is the grade. Okay, and then you go back to the assignment and you click on grade by CSV import and you click on that, and it brings up this pop-up window where you can either choose file and bring it in, or you can just drag it from your file explorer and drop it, and it automatically uploads for you. Then whenever it uploads, it gives you the green, hey, it's been imported successfully, and then it shows your grades just like you had manually put them in. I know some people, especially concurrent instructors, use spreadsheets. I know a couple of you guys use spreadsheets, and maybe this will be beneficial for you as far as just copying those scores into the grade or the assignment's individual CSV file and then pulling it back in. Depends on what you like. I would prefer what I'm about to show you next, which is, and I will have a scribe to show you how to do this as well. So you can do it if you would like. But my most exciting piece of our update is the gradebook entry option. So for the longest time, the whole time I've ever used myNeosho, and I think the whole time myNeosho has ever existed, the gradebook was literally just for viewing the grades. You know, we couldn't edit anything here. This is not where we put grades in. This is not where you accessed anything. This was just a flat calculation or example of what your grades are for the class. So they've changed that. Like I said before, you can click on any of the titles of the grade or assignments in the gradebook. It will take you back to that assignment and coursework, and then you can toggle between the two. But most importantly and most excitedly is that you can actually edit the gradebook now. So I'm going to go into the full gradebook. I'm going to go ahead and expand everything. So click view everything at once. So I can see all of these. You can see I can click on these. I can go to that specific assignment. I can go back to full grade book. But the cool part, I can choose any assignment that I can edit. So obviously online tests I can't edit this way because they're automatically calculated, but uploads or basic, I check the box next to whichever ones I'm wanting to edit at this time, and I click edit selected grades. And now in my gradebook, I can go through and I can update grades on however many assignments I want. I think there's a restriction. I think you cannot update 400 assignments at one time. So I think you're safe on that. But if you are a person that uses if you do a lot of basic assignments, or like I'm trying to think of things that you wouldn't be using in myNeosho, like art projects or presentations, something that isn't necessarily recorded directly into myNeosho, this would be really handy for me. LTI assignments, so I go somewhere else to see what the students scored, and then I have to come back in here to put the grades in, and it was a lot of work to go from each assignment and wait, click the button, it loads, put in the scores, click the button, it saves. It takes like 5 minutes for each assignment just because of loading time and making sure you type in everything. Or with this one, I'm able to open up 3 or 4 assignments, go through and put all the scores in, and then click save. I'll just edit this. And then it automatically updates them for me here within the gradebook. So I'm not having to do it from the coursework page one assignment at a time. I can do as many as I'd like at once. I also think of it as a situation when I have, so let's say I'm a mouse, decides to turn in late work and she's got 10 assignments. That's frustrating to me as an instructor because I have to go into each assignment and edit her grade there. But with this one, I can go to IMA and I believe I can edit just IMA's scores here. So nobody else is open and I can go in and I can just tab across and update IMA's scores. Okay, so that is also awesome.
Maggie,
Yes.
sorry, it's Richard. It would be awesome if it showed the total amount of points of like the assignment set at, like it said at 12 points, whatever, just make sure they match when we're doing this.
100% agree. And when I was making this PowerPoint, I was like, oh, somebody's gonna call me out on this. I've already got it in my notes. I'm a part of the e-learning advisory board, and so e-learning is myNeosho. And I already have it in my notes to take to them, because as awesome as this is, you can tell that, I've got 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and I have 10 out of 20, 10 out of 15. I don't know that until I put a score in there. And so I would like for them to put it, there's a perfect spot under each of these names of the assignments that I'm hoping that they can put in parentheses what those totals are. So yes, thank you very much for bringing that up.
Maggie, this is Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi. Now, as an online instructor, it automatically still does go over to the grade book, right?
Oh
So-
yeah, this is just
so
an
you
information.
We're looking at the assignment and you say, oh, wait a minute. Like sometimes I'll find something that I'll see that everybody's doing the same thing wrong, so I'm not going to penalize them. So I just go in to the assignment and make those changes.
Yeah, you can still do that.
You still
Nothing
can
is
do
changing.
that
Yep.
while
Nothing.
you're in the assignment.
Yep.
Sometimes you're looking at the assignment and you're going, oh, wait a minute, I read this and no, everybody's having the same problem. So I'm going to have to rethink how I'm
Yeah.
gonna grade that. So I'm already there. I wouldn't go into the grade book.
No, you can still do all the same functionality you had before. This is
Okay.
this is an add, this is an
Okay.
extra.
Okay.
So yep, you can still give class-wide bonuses, you can still edit all grades at once, you can still do a default grade, I believe, maybe not on this style of
Okay.
assignment, but anything that you could do before you can still do.
Okay.
Those options are still there.
Hey Maggie,
Yes.
does this newest feature work for assignments that have been set up with an online rubric?
With the gradebook option,
Yes.
like I said, it's anything that doesn't have like an automatic total. So I do not believe rubrics would work, and they gray out. So this imported test, that's grayed out. You can't, where's my scroll? There we are. So if it's something like these right here, these are grayed out because, well, first of all, they're not open, so I can't, but imported test is grayed out, does not have the option for a box. So therefore I can't edit that grade here. So, can't answer for sure on the rubric, but I believe the rubric would be the same way.
The only caution I would say, if by chance it does work on those assignments, is that we've had trouble in the past with assessment scores not being picked up because we put in an overall grade and didn't use the rubric itself to score.
Yeah,
And so that has happened in the past, but it sounds like maybe it's not functioning that way.
I will look into it. Okay. Let me write that down. Thank you, Steve. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. I'm really excited about that feature. I think it'll help obviously concurrent students instructors maybe a little more because they're going from Power School to our system. So I'm excited to share that with the adjuncts on Wednesday. Okay. So, that's all of my updates as far as new and fun. Any of the known issues and resolved issues, they weren't anything that, besides the one I shared with the resources, they weren't anything that warranted me putting them in this PowerPoint. If there is something that is an issue that you've been dealing with that has not been resolved, please send me an email online so we can look into it and see why it's still not being resolved. I know that things are still tricky with Apple products. I have no idea why, but I think it's getting better. So hopefully that'll continue to get better. Just a reminder on all of our instructional support options. So we have our instructional support page under my teaching and then instructional support on the left. Seth does an amazing job of creating our calendar view here. She puts important dates. She'll be adding any of our lunch bites and snack bites on this page, and we'll probably make them linkable so you can click on it and it'll go directly to that Zoom. And then on the right side, you have all of our training videos. I guess I didn't record anything from 20 or any of our spring stuff, so that's weird. And we have our lunch bites playlist and tutorials for NeoSho faculty, but also under the document and guides, that's where I wanted to show you where concourse information was. So the syllabus edit or copy, syllabus examples, those are in that section. And then also right above that are the step-by-step scribes, a whole faculty page of how to do anything in myNeosho. So please check that out and look at all those different scribes. They're very helpful. There may even be things in there that you didn't even know existed. So if you could go and check that page out and see if there's anything in there that would be new, or if it's something you're not sure how to use, check that page out first. Desk side coaching and then chat with online, those have always been there. Those are just easy to get to if you're not sure how to find that information. Weekly update email. Everyone should already have one in their inbox. Am I right? Did everybody get one today? Yay. How many of you read it? Oh, good. So I'm really hoping that you guys start reading these. There might be some incentives in them, so please take a look. But this is where we want to give you all the information you might need. So please read these weekly updates. Please know that we're going to put anything that we can out there for you. So if there is any issues with myNeosho, like maybe a functionality is not working properly, I'm going to put them in these weekly updates. If it's something serious, we'll obviously let you know before that. But if there's something coming up, or if we have any kind of snack bites or lunch bites, this is where you're going to see that information. This also has information for Steve's assessments. So we will be highlighting assessments as well in this email. So just take a look at it every week. It's not super long. It's just information we'd like you to know about. It's also something you can refer back to, like, why is this not working? And then if you look at that weekly update, you're like, because Maggie and Seth sent this out and we know about it. So take a look. So it's supposed to be helpful. Not a nuisance and not spam, promise. New desk side coaching page. We have a new page. So we're no longer using Calendly anymore. We are using booking through our Office 365 opportunity that we have. And I will be discussing how to not make a pretty page like this, but how to use booking in our Office 365 this afternoon at 2 o'clock. So if you want to catch that session, but this is our new booking page. And the cool thing is that you can choose between the two of us. I know Sess is way cooler than I am, so I wanted you to be able to click on her stuff as well as mine. And whenever you click on one of our names, it takes you to our booking page where you can choose an hour with us, 30 minutes, or even just a quick 15 minutes if you need to. And then it shows you the availability. You click on the availability, just similar to Calendly, and then it puts it on both of our calendars, your calendar and mine or Cecil's calendar. And then it's booked and scheduled. And it's so much easier than trying to figure out, okay, when are you available? When are you available? You just go straight to that link in our email or on our website, and it takes you, you can choose who you would like to meet with or who has the best availability for your needs, and then schedule it. And it's super seamless, so easy. So we're really excited about that. And that's it. That's all I have. Do you guys have any questions?
Maggie,
Yeah.
I went on one of my courses, ALHT 215, the quality.
Yes.
And it wasn't in the statistics, but it had a new page called Virtual Communication via Zoom. I already had a Zoom page, and I don't know how that virtual communication via Zoom came on.
I don't either. So maybe we should meet. Maybe you could send me a screenshot of what you're looking at, because that's new.
Okay, because it's not on the other course, but on the quality course, and I hadn't put it in, and I'm going, Maybe that's something new at the college that you're
No,
providing.
nope.
Okay, I'll send you a link. I'll send you a
Thank you.
page. to Look.
Okay, that sounds good. Anybody else? If not, thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions at all, please send me an email. We'll be happy to help you. And have a great in-service week.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Maggie.
Yeah, of
Thanks, Maggie.
course.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maggie.